Good evening to everybody. Welcome to the Muslim law class. And yesterday the title, the divorce, that is the talaq. Half of the part is completed. That is up to the mutual consent completed. And from there I am continuing the rest of the part. Here I am making it. The case law is in Masroor Ahmad versus State of NCT of Delhi and another. That is the High Court of the Delhi observed that Ilah and Jihar as modes of the rivers are virtually non-existent in India. However, lian is sometimes resorted to if a man accuses his wife of adultery, zina. Adultery means in Arabic we will say zina, but is unable to prove the allegation. The wife has the right to approach the Hazi for a dissolution of marriage. In India, yes, you are speaking, Himabindu. I could hear your voice. You mute it. In India, a regular suit has to be filed. Once, once such a suit is filed by his wife, the husband has an option for retracting his charges for adultery, whereupon the suit shall file. However, if he persists, then he is required to make four oaths to support the charge. The wife makes the four oaths of her innocence, after which the court declares the marriage dissolved. This is the process of dissolution of marriage by lian. So it is one of the type of the lian. Of course, it is no more now in practice in India, but in theoretically that will say the lian, because when a person has made a charge over the wife, at that instance, you should have to prove it. Otherwise, the wife is having a right to file a case and for the dissolution of the marriage. So retraction means it can be made by the husband before the end of the trial, admitting that he has made a charge of adultery against her wife. Such a charge was false. Suppose before the declaration is there, even the husband can make it apology, say that whatever the charges which I made against my wife is a false, then the retraction can be possible. So that was the thing. Yes, can you read what is I posted on the screen, which I highlighted? Unmute and read. Yes.
Fast. Quran
Go
says
ahead.
that Quran says that husband and wife are duty bound to respect each other and treat each other respectfully and obey all lawful orders of each other.
Here,
If
what it
both
means, Quran says the wife or husband, they are duly bound to respect each other. That's why that people say, no, give respect and take respect. And treat each other respectfully and obey all lawful orders of the each other. Whatever the Quran says over there, that order should be followed over there. That is the way Quran says. If both of them find that they cannot live as a husband and wife further, they can approach Hazi, who after careful examination may terminate their marriage. That is called fask. Suppose if the amicableness is there, no compatibility is not there, because wife thinking is east and husband thinking is west. In a such a way, life becoming miserable. So at that instance, they can go to the Hazi and they see our compatibility will not be there, and please see that we will be separated. So the type of the extrajudicial divorce this is called fask. Section 2 of the Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act of 1939 states 9 grounds on which a Muslim wife can obtain a decree of divorce. There are total 9 grounds under the Act in 1939 made, and by that one can get the divorce. Then what are the things are there? Let me see the one after another. Absence of husband. And here, whereabouts of the husband are not known from the past 4 years. If the whereabouts of the husband will not known past 4 years, dissolution of marriage decree on this ground will take effect after 6 months from the date of such decree is passed. Of course, the decree is passed over there, but still they have to wait for the 6 months. Within the span of the 6 months, if the whereabouts of the husband will be known, the decree will be null and void, means cancelled. And during that period, if the husband appears in a person or through an authorized agent or heard about somebody else, court, if satisfied from the same, may set aside the said decree. The court may set aside such a decree within the span of 6 months. If the whereabouts will be known or heard or in person, the husband appears after the passing the decree. Is it clear? Is it clear?
sir,
Yes.
Clear, sir.
Okay. Then next ground is failure to maintain. To whom maintain? Failure to maintain whom?
His wife.
Yes. Suppose if the husband is a house husband and the wife is the employee, tell me what will happen? Failure to maintain the husband. There we can say it. Okay, of such a situation did not come yet because it is in India. The tendency is that man should have to work. It is our civilization also said women should have to take care of the house. Udyogamu purusha lakshanamu. That's what the people say. So that is one of the characteristics of a man is that he has to work hard outside and earn the money and to feed the wife and children. So here the failure to maintain means that if the husband fails to provide the maintenance to his wife for 2 years, consecutive 2 years, there is no defense available before the husband on the ground of poverty, failing health, or unemployment. The husband cannot take the plea that my health is not good, I am a poor man, I am an unemployed. When you are unemployed, when you are poor, why did you marry? Yes. Anyone have the answer? Annotation will be required. Okay. Here I am keeping my cursor. Okay. The husband cannot take the plea that I'm a poor and I don't have the employment and I don't have the health. So these are the things one cannot make it out. So this is the thing which I read it. Failure to maintain. That another point is imprisonment. Here I am highlighting it. Imprisonment. Yes, imprisonment of a husband. If the husband is imprisoned for the 7 years, if the husband is imprisoned for the 7 years, at the time it is a good ground for taking the divorce by the resolution of marriage by the wife. So that is the another ground. Next ground which I am highlighted here is, can anybody will read? Yes.
Failure to perform marital duties. If without any reasonable cause the husband is able to perform his marital obligations for 3 years.
Yes. So perform the marital duties in the sense if without any reasonable cause the husband is unable to perform his marital obligation for the 3 years, means everything will come under it, because for the clothes, food, taking care of the wife and money and everything will come into it. Marital duties include the BBC also, including the BBC also. Even that also comes over there. The marital duties that if the husband will not perform the consecutive 3 years, there is a good ground for taking the divorce. There is a dissolution of marriage. Yes, any another person can unmute because only one person is reading over there. Can I presume that other persons are dumb? Please, another person can unmute and
Importance of husband. Husband was important at the time of marriage and continues to be so. If the husband in 1 year from the date of the order obtained by wife for dissolution of marriage on the grounds of impotency, an application satisfies the court that he ceased to be impotent. If the husband satisfies the court, then no decree shall be passed on this ground.
here the importance would be there because he could not do the BBC at the time. How it is a good ground? They say from the date of the marriage it is there. If the husband satisfies the court that there no decree shall be passed on this ground. Suppose if he reverse it, rebuttal it, yes, he can be able to do the BBC, then it will be rebutted. But they will check it. They will one medical doctor certificate, another medical doctor certificate. Then the confirmation would be there. Yes, he cannot perform the marital obligations. If there's such a thing would be proved over there, yes, that will be a good ground for the wife to get the divorce. Yes. Anyone other people are doing this? Meeting space 11W. Rama Devi, can you unmute and read? Next point. This which I highlighted now. Yes. Rama Devi.
వెయిట్ ఇంత
Yes,
చిన్న
can
చిన్న
you read?
అక్షరాలు అవ్వకూడట్లేదు సార్.
Pardon? You want excuse? Say
ఇంత
yes.
చిన్న అక్షరాలు ఆగుపడట్లేదు సార్ ఇలా
Okay,
స్మాల్
okay.
లెటర్స్ ఆగుపడట్లేదు సార్
Okay. Can I magnify it? What about now? I magnified. What about now? Can I make it red so that you could easily be seen? What about now?
నెక్స్ట్ ఎవరైనా చదవమనండి సార్ వింటున్నా నేను
Okay. Try it. Insanity, leprosy are venereal diseases. If the husband is insane or suffering from the leprosy or any other venereal diseases in a period of 2 years, and then judicial divorce can be claimed on the same ground. Yes, mute. Now mute, because I'm getting the sound. The Personal Laws Amendment Act 2019 made an amendment to the Dissolution of Marriage Act 1939. In the Dissolution of Marriage Act 1939, in Section 2, the ground 6th, that is the ground for the leprosy, shall be omitted. Now, leprosy will not be a disease for getting the dissolution of marriage, so that will be the omitted, because you have the remedy or the cure for the leprosy, so that is eliminated over there. Otherwise, insanity is there, good ground, and the venereal diseases are there, good ground. Can anybody will tell me what are the venereal diseases? Anyone? If you don't know, you can say pass on. I will give the answer. Don't waste the time.
HIV, sir. HIV.
Repeat.
HIV. AIDS.
Yes, HIV, AIDS, gonorrhea, hysteria. These are all called STD. Means sexually transmitted diseases. STD, not strain trunk dialing. It is a sexually transmitted diseases. If such a thing would be there, naturally that is a good ground, but not the leprosy, because in the Amendment 2019, the leprosy is omitted. The next ground, which I want to make it this is the ground. Repudiation. Yes, anyone can unmute and read. Yes, are you ready, Ramadevi? Now, Ramadevi, are you ready? Harika, are you ready? Sir, we are both are not ready, sir. Okay, I will read myself only. Repudiation of the marriage by wife. If a girl is married before the age of 15 years by her father giving the consent as a guardian, then under the Muslim law she has been provided with the right to repudiate such a marriage after attaining the age of 18 years, provided that the marriage is not consummated. No BBC should be there. At that instance, the girl is having every right to repudiate the marriage when she attained the age of majority. She is entitled to a decree of the divorce for the same. Yes, he can say, my grandfather or my guardian has not given the consent for the marriage. Actually, I don't like that marriage because of there is a lot of incompatibility would be there between him and me, and hence she can repudiate the marriage. But the condition is that no BBC should be done at the time. Okay, that was the condition. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Sir, if marriage is consummated, can she repudiate?
Yes, if it is consummated, then she has lost the ground to do. But if any other ground will be found, then she can fight for the other grounds. Yes. Okay, shall I proceed?
Okay,
Say
sir.
yes. Well, I appreciate. Grounds of this is the thing which I am going to read now. Yeah, the grounds of dissolution recognized by Muhammad Allah. The wife is also entitled to obtain the divorce on the ground recognized valid under the law. Not only the wife is also entitled to obtain the divorce on the ground of recognized valid under the law that is made and the dissolution of Muhammadan marriage. That is the false accusation of adultery. If the husband makes a false accusation of adultery and not proved such a statement, then also be ground for dissolution of marriage, like we have studied in the Ilah. If you make the false accusation that she has indulged in the adultery at the time it is not proved over there, then that is a good ground for it. Then another ground for that is the cruelty by the husband. If the husband treats his wife with the cruelty, then she can approach the court and claim for the decree of judicial separation on the same ground. If the cruelty will be shown by the husband, then she can also for the judicial separation, which leads to the divorce also later part. So some of the ways through the which the grounds of cruelty could be claimed as follows. What do you say? When do you say the cruelty? Anyone? A cruelty by the husband to the wife. Anyone could show the one or two grounds, examples of the cruelty shown by the husband towards the wife. Unmute and give me the answer. Anyone? Sir?
Frequently abusing her.
Yes?
Frequently abusing her, sir, his wife leads to cruelty.
Okay. But even the cruelty not necessarily that he has to beat. Cruelty not necessarily that he has to beat the wife. Cruelty is enough if he doesn't allow the wife to see the parents' house. Are you following me?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Suppose cruelty also there. Every year he used to bring a new sari for every festival. Suppose if he did not bring the sari for the festival, even though he is having a lot of money, that also shows the cruelty towards the wife. So cruelty toward the wife are many and reason. Number one, physical assault is the cruelty, that is the domestic violence. Number two, making a defamatory statement affecting her reputation, even also that is a cruelty, insulting her in the presence of the other people, and forces her to lead an immoral life. It is also a cruelty. And obstructing her from practicing her religion. Suppose she used to go Shirdi Sai Baba Gudi, and this fellow doesn't like it, and this fellow go to the then another Gudi, like Ram Mandir. So if you not allow your wife to practice whatever the religion she wants to do it, even also it's a cruelty. And a husband having more than one wife and does not treat them equally. Suppose the husband is having a more than one wife. Of course, more than one wife means two wife, three wife, four wife also. Okay. In such a thing, he is concentrating only on the latest wife, but overlooking the first wife, and he doesn't know the old is gold. So at that time also it is shown to be cruelty. So one of the best case law that I studied over there is Syed Ziauddin versus Parvez Sultana. I repeat the case law. Syed Ziauddin versus Parvez Sultana. Here, Parvez Sultana, she is a girl and a wife, was a science graduate, and she wanted to take admission in a college for a medical studies. And because as a science graduate, she wants to study medicine, MBBS. So she needed money for her studies. So what she did it know, Syed Ziauddin promised to give her money and provided she married him. So Ziauddin said that if you marry me, okay, I will see that you will be admitted in the medical college, and I will bear all the expenses. Who said? Who said? Who said?
Syed Ziauddin.
Ziauddin, he said that he promised that if you marry me, I am ready to bear all the expenses for your education. She did it, means she married. Later, she filed a divorce because later Ziauddin did not fulfill his promise. After the marriage, Ziauddin did not fulfill the promise. So she filed for divorce for non-fulfillment of the promise on the part of the husband. The court granted her divorce on the ground of cruelty. Even if you make a promise, if you did not keep up the promise, that also amounts to
Cruelty.
cruelty. Bhaktulara Narandi. Thus, we see the court's attitude of attributing a wider meaning to the expression cruelty. Cruelty doesn't mean that a sexual assault, making that a physical assault, or not allowing the person to go to his father, mother, not practicing the life that he wants, a religious life, and cruelty also that if you promised it, if you did not fulfill the promise, then also it's amount to the cruelty. That is the attribution given by the court. regarding the cruelty. In Zubeda Begum is another case law. In
Sir,
Zubeda Begum
if
versus, yes,
sir, if a Muslim marries Hindu woman,
okay.
then uh, it is compulsory to change her religion, or she may continue as a Hindu.
Yeah, that is not allowed in the Islam. Suppose he married to a Muslim who converted to the Muslim from the Hindu. But again, if he changes her religion to Hindu, then it is a ground for the husband for getting the dissolution of marriage. In even the husband changes the religion also, that will be the ground for the wife to repudiate the marriage or for the dissolution of the marriage. But
In cruelty, it is in cruelty if he obstructs from practicing her religion, it is a ground for cruelty and on the yes, sir.
what is priority? What is priority?
Cruelty. If
Yes,
he
four wives are
obstructs
there.
his wife,
4 wives are there. He gives the more priority to the last wife, less priority to the elder wife. That is also amount to the cruelty. He should give the equal importance to the all of them. If he does not do so biologically, financially, by any other means, then he has shown the cruelty towards somebody else. Even she can show the ground because he not treating me well, treating only the latest wife who married just 6 months before, the fourth wife, not taking care of me, who is the first wife. At the time, he is showing the cruelty to me. That will be a good ground for taking the dissolution of the marriage. Any other thing you want clarification? Any other thing
no,
that you
sir.
want the
No, sir.
clarification? Shall I proceed? Shall I
Proceed,
proceed?
sir. Proceed,
Yes,
sir.
appreciate. In Zubeda Begum versus Sardar Saha, a case from the Lahore High Court, the husband sold the ornament of the wife with her consent. See, with her consent. So it was submitted that the husband's conduct does not amount to cruelty. Suppose if the husband sold the wife's jewelry without her consent, yes, that is amount to cruelty. Is it clear? Is it
Yes,
clear?
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. Now let us go to the Talakhnama, means written form. Talakhnama, what is that? You tell me, Talakhnama. Read.
Talaknama is talak given in the written form.
Repeat.
Talaknama is talak given in the written form.
What is this sign? This I want to this one.
Slash.
Slash or
Professor Hussain student will not say slash. Professor Hussain students will not say oblique. Professor Hussain students will not say stroke. Professor Hussain student will say virgule. 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 Talakhnama virgule written form. Talakhnama is a talak given in the written form. TALAQ via talakhnama can be provided in the absence of the wife, and also there is no necessity to be signed in the presence of the Khazi or the wife's father. So that was the mode which is said to be the biddat in one way, in another way, if he put it in a written form without any reasonable ground. Husband has to execute a proper deed, means he has to write it in a writing. A deed must contain the name of the woman to whom he has divorced and his name. Of course, to whom that he is going to be divorced, name should be there, and beneath his name should also be there, and clearly that he has to make it that I am going to TALAQ to particular woman or the particular name person, and to whom he is a wife of that person. So points to be considered for the valid talaq, TALAQ, talaq pronounced and the intoxication is not recognized and valid under the Muslim law. Suppose if it is a fully drunken over there, and if we say 100 times TALAQ, 100 times TALAQ, it is not amount to? It is not amount to? Yes?
Talaq.
Yes, that I would like to get from you. TALAQ. Second, for a valid TALAQ, intention is not an essential element. Of course, sometimes when they say intention is essential or not, they say no, because that is the reason they say talaq e biddat. So the third one is husband may give the TALAQ by mere words without any talaqnama or deed or written form. So this was no more now in procedure, because talaq made during the death illness is also be considered. An ailing Muslim, generally man, have been given the power to pronounce the TALAQ just to prevent his right of inheritance moving to his wife after his death. So this fellow at the deathbed also he wants to TALAQ say that, so that the property of him will not inherited by the wife. So whether it's such a valid, okay, one thing is there. Suppose if he gives such a thing at the deathbed, but he should die. But if he did not die, that is not a valid. Number two, if the man pronounces irrevocable TALAQ in death illness and dies before the expiry of the death period, the wife is entitled to claim her share. Yes. Suppose that fellow want to say that, okay, now he made it the irrevocable 3 times. TALAQ, TALAQ, TALAQ. Then after the, before she completes her death period, and if that fellow is dead in early, then that TALAQ is not valid. In any case, the deathbed will not be valid, because if he dies on the spot, the death period is not completed over there, but still she can be entitled for the inheritance. Number third, in the case the husband dies after the expiry of the death period, that there is no right of inheritance. Of course, the deathbed when he has made it over there, and iddat period is over. What is the iddat period for the person? Divorce, talaq?
4 months, 10 days, sir.
What is the iddat period of the divorce? If you know it, you tell me. If you don't know, say pass on. I will give the answer. Don't waste the time.
4 months, 10 days, sir. I think
3
so.
months, 3 lunar months. Suppose if the death of the husband is there, iddat period is? Please tell me. If you don't know, you say pass on. I will give the answer.
Pass on, sir.
4 months, 10 days. FOUR 4 months, MONTHS months, AND and TEN 10 days. 4 months, 10 days. If she is a menopause,
3 months.
3 lunar months consisting of 30 days each month. If she is a pregnant, if you don't know, it's a pass on. Don't waste the time.
280 days, sir. 280 days.
Delivery.
Till the delivery. Okay. Now let us see the legal effects of divorce. What are the legal effects of divorce? We will see it now. So let us see in the bigger form. The legal effect divorce is whatever may be the mode, the divorce operates as a complete severance of the matrimonial relationship between the husband and your wife. After the completion of every form of divorce, the marriage is dissolved and the parties cease to be the husband and wife. Effect or the legal consequences of divorce are given below. Number 1, cohabitation becomes illegal. That means no BBC. BBC becomes illegal. Is it clear? Say yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Number 2, iddat. The wife is required to observe the iddat of 3 lunar months after the divorce, or if pregnant, till the delivery of the child. However, if the divorce takes place before consummation, The wife need not observe iddat. No BBC need not to observe iddat. So iddat is to confirm whether she is pregnant or not. So number 3, maintenance during the iddat. During the period of the iddat, the divorced wife is entitled to be maintained by her former husband. Maintenance of the divorced wife is now governed by the Muslim women within parentheses protection of the rights and the Divorce Act of 1986. Under this act, to the former husband is liable to maintain the divorced wife only up to the period of iddat. But later on, the other cases say that no, she can be maintained under the CRPC 125 till she get married the second time, or tell me, or tell me, Asan, you tell me,
Awesome, sir.
till her death, till her
Death. Death, sir.
death. Either she go for the remarriage or till her death, the husband should have to maintain under the CRPC 125, which is applicable to without caste, creed, and religion. Number 4, right to contract another marriage. Both the parties are free to contract another marriage with other person. Thus, a husband can marry another woman immediately after the divorce, but a divorced wife cannot marry another husband before the expiry of the period of iddah. Iddah period should be completed. Then only the wife will be allowed to marry the another person. If their marriage had dissolved before the consummation, suppose the no BBC is there is no question of observing the iddat by the wife. Is it clear? Is it clear?
Clear, sir.
Yes, sir.
So iddat period determines what? Iddat period determines what? Sorry.
If she is pregnant. If she is pregnant.
Iddat period shows that whether she is pregnant or not pregnant. That is the way. The fifth one is dower. If the unpaid dower becomes immediately payable to the divorced wife, whether the power is a prompt or deferred. Prompt means already paid. Deferred means later. The divorced wife is entitled to immediately after the divorce. She will be entitled to ask it. If she doesn't have the money, she can file a suit in the court of law to attachment of his salary, attachment to his property, attachment to his land. If the marriage was consummated, she is entitled to full amount of the specified dower. If the divorce takes place before the consummation, she is entitled to only half of the specified dower. No BBC. At the time, only half of it. BBC is over, full amount. Where dower was not specified, if the dower is not specified, if it is, she is entitled to the proper dower as fixed by the court. But if the divorce takes place before consummation, she is entitled to get only some presents. Of course, not specified divorce is given over there, and no consummation, no BBC, and the divorce took place. Okay, whatever the gift would be there, that gift would be given back to the bride, mean the wife. It is to be noted that the Section 5 of the Dissolution of Muslim Marriage Act of 1939 provides that the Act does not affect in any manner the right to dower which married women have under the Muslim law on the dissolution of her marriage. In any case, the husband should have to give the dower to the wife. Even the wife died, who will be entitled to get the divorce and dower? Yes?
Legal heirs, sir.
Legal heirs can entitled to get the dower even the mother is not over there. If the children are not there, any person who is the custodian or the father or brother, anyone, they will be entitled to get when there is no children. But in any case, there is no question of not giving unless until the wife voluntarily relinquish the dower. Therefore, where a wife seeks judicial divorce under this act, her right to claim dowry is not lost. She is entitled to dowry in accordance with the rules of the Muslim personal law. Next is 6, remarriage between the divorced couple. And the man can immediately marry, but the woman cannot. The reason is, wants to determine whether she's pregnant or not. The 3 months period should have to be given. Yes, after the completion of the divorce, the parties cease to be the husband and wife. There is no restriction in their remarriage with other persons, but there is some restrictions of the remarriage of the divorced couple. Muslim law prescribes certain special rules for the remarriage between the divorced husband and wife. These special rules are given below. That is called nikah halal. Suppose the divorced people, they want again to marry each other. What they have to do? Anyone?
Remarriage.
Anyone? Say pass on. I will give the answer. Why do you waste the time?
Pass on, sir.
See, whenever the divorced husband and wife marry each other again, then the divorced wife first she has to go marry for the another man. The another man BBC should be done. Then she can obtain the divorce and showing her some ground. Then she has to wait for the iddat period. In the 4th month, again, the same divorced woman can marry the divorced husband. That is called nikah halal. Did you see the nikah movie? The same thing which is said in the A, B, the same thing it is narration. The remarriage of the divorced couple must be first a contract of the marriage with all the essential, formalities, including the fresh dower. If the divorced couple resumes the cohabitation without contracting the fresh marriage, their union would be unlawful. B. The divorced couple cannot remarry even by a fresh contract without adopting the following special procedure. What procedure? Just now I told you. After the completion of the divorced wife observes the required iddat. Then iddat is completed. The divorced wife will contract a valid marriage with another person. The marriage with the other person should not be merely formality. It should be BBC consummated. Then second point is the marriage with such other person dissolves, means she has to take the divorce from him. The husband either voluntarily divorces the wife or himself dead, or the wife observes the iddat. Then after that one, now after the expiry of the iddat period, the wife may lawfully remarry the former husband. The same thing which I narrated to you. Thus, we find that for a lawful remarriage between the divorced couple, 2 conditions are necessary. Number 1, there must be a fresh contract of marriage between them. And secondly, the prescribed special procedure must be followed. That is the nikah halal. If there is a fresh contract but the special procedure has not been followed, the marriage is irregular, fasikh marriage. But if there is no fresh contract, the marriage is void. It is a batil marriage. That is to say, if there is a mere resumption of the cohabitation, there is no remarriage, the union is void. Without following the nikah halal procedure, if they live together, then it is a union, it is not a remarriage, or it is not a marriage or a valid marriage. So one of the case law, that is the Rashid Ahmed versus Anisa Khatun case law. Can anyone read it? What is that case law says? Which I am highlighting
Rashid
here.
Ahmad versus Anisa Khatun is a leading case on this point. Briefly, the facts of this case were Ghiyasuddin, a Sunni husband, divorced his wife Anisa Khatun irrevocably by pronouncing 3 talaqs. He pronounced the talaq under the undue influence of his parents when the wife was not present there. After some time, the husband resumed cohabitation without formally remarrying and without adopting the special procedure.
Then whether that marriage is a valid marriage or invalid marriage.
Invalid, sir.
See, at that time, because the triple talaq is now banned, but at that time it is a valid. But now, when it is banned over there, and he did not stop it, because he did not wait for the even one tuhur also, but he consummated already. So 5 children are born to them after his resumption of the cohabitation. After the death of the husband, the children and the widow, Anisa Khatun claimed their share in the property of as the heirs of the deceased. Their claim to inherit the property was challenged by the Rashid Ahmad, who was the brother of the deceased husband. Rashid Ahmad pleaded that after the triple divorce of the marriage of the Ghiyasuddin, Anisa Khatun was dissolved. That is his contention. Whose contention? Ghiyasuddin brother, Anisuddin contention. In their remarriage, the condition prescribed the Muslim law for the remarriage of divorced couple was not followed. Since they resumed the cohabitation without fulfilling the condition, the remarriage was void. Anisa Khatun widow and her children have no right of the inheritance. That the contention is taken. But the Privy Council held that there was no intermediate marriage with the another person. The bar to remarriage was not removed. The court further observed that there was no proof of any regular remarriage. The parties simply resumed cohabitation. The party resumed cohabitation. In the view of these circumstances, the court held that the union of Ghiyasuddin and Isa Khatun after the triple divorce was void. I repeat, in view of these circumstances, the court held that the union of Ghiyasuddin and Anisa Khatun after the triple divorce was void. The children, therefore, were held to be illegitimate, and neither the children nor the widow could inherit the properties. That is, the Privy Council has given such a decision. The reason is they did not follow the Nikaye Halal, because at that time triple talaq was valid. But now,
Not
Invalid.
invalid. The children born to him is a valid children, not bastard. They are the legitimate children. They are entitled for the inheritance. So at that time it is triple talaq is there. That's why it is a valid over there, because procedure is not followed over there. Again she has to marry to another man. Again the divorce. Then taking the iddat period. But the consummation is must for the second man. So that is the called Nikah Hilal is not followed over there. The contention is taken over there. Then Khadija versus Muhammad, another case law, is an interesting case from the Kerala High Court. The husband had divorced his wife irrevocably by 3 pronouncement. The same again, triple talaq. After a long period, the husband remarried her under a fresh contract of marriage and took her to his house. But in the meantime, the wife had not married any other person as required under the Muslim law. But a woman should have to marry another person. It is a must and mandatory. And not only marriage, BBC also be done. After a few months of this remarriage, they quarreled and the husband divorced his wife once again. But during the short period of the cohabitation had taken place, the child was conceived and later born. The wife claimed maintenance for the child under the section 125 of the CRPC. The husband objected her claim on the ground that his remarriage was not lawfully according to the provision of the Muslim law, as there was no intervening marriage with a stranger, because there is no another marriage took place. He further argued that union after the remarriage was an adulterous and illegal union. Therefore, the child was illegitimate, not entitled to the maintenance. But it was held by the Kerala High Court that if there is an irrevocable divorce by 3 talaqs, the spouse cannot remarry without the fulfilling the prescribed condition. But if the spouse remarry with all the required formalities of the fresh marriage, then although the prescribed condition of the marriage with another person and the subsequent divorce by that person has not been followed, the remarriage is not void. It is merely irregular. Only the condition is not followed over there. We can say it is irregular, but not void. Children of irregular fasid marriage was legitimate. As such, the child was legitimate and was entitled to the maintenance under the section 125 of the Criminal Procedure Code. No fault of the child. Why the child should be suffered as a bastard or illegitimate child? Because the mother did not follow the proper procedure, getting married to the another man and making the BBC with him. Later they take the divorce again, then observe the iddat period again come and marry the first divorced husband. So that is called a fasid marriage. But the no fault of the children should not become a victim. Even an illegitimate child also entitled for the maintenance. Yes, 7th is mutual rights of inheritance ceases. Upon the completion of the divorce, that is when it becomes irrevocable. then the mutual rights of inheritance between the spouses cease. Yes, that is to say, if the husband dies after the divorce, the wife is not entitled to inherit his properties. In such a manner, if the wife dies, the husband cannot inherit her property. And but if the divorce was pronounced during the husband's death illness, marzul maut, that is called death illness. When you make it marzul maut, this general rule is not applicable. So now the question comes, when the mutual divorce is there, no one would be entitled for the inheritance. But the marzul maut is there, that is not applicable. If any one of them died, the other person could be inherited. So that is the legal conditions, legal consequences of divorce between the two
Husband and wife.
people. Of course, I already told you triple talaq is no more valid now. Is it not? Sayara Bano versus Union of India and others. So conclusion, when two people enter into a marital relationship, they may not know each other so well as they got to know each other after living together. And after that, if there is no compatibility between the two, the living apart is the best choice to be made. Bad relation may spoil the life of both the individual. Under the Muslim law, TLAQ is an ancient practice and is not recognized as a sinful act. It is a last resort. సార్ మీరు యాక్షన్తో చూపెట్టారేంటి సార్? ఎస్, డిడ్ యూ ఫాలో మై పాయింట్?
Yes, sir.
Still 5 minutes are there. If you want to ask, you can ask me anything. See, these are the things which I dealt in a explicit, very clear manner, very wide manner, in the depthful manner, because here I give only the legal effects of divorce, only 1 bullet, 2 bullet, 3 bullet, 4 bullet, 5 bullet. But in another file, I have given the total 7 bullet, 7 points over there. But if you refresh it again, read the bullets here, legal effect of the divorce. I don't know. At least I want to hear the voice of the another people. సత్యనారాయణ గారు, సార్ నేను ఇప్పుడే వచ్చాను సార్, నాకు అడగకండి సార్. సత్యనారాయణ గారు, కెన్ యూ అన్మ్యూట్ అండ్ రీడ్ వాట్ ఐ పోస్టెడ్ ఆన్ ద స్క్రీన్, దట్ ద లీగల్ ఎఫెక్ట్ ఆఫ్ డివోర్స్. ఐ వుడ్ లైక్ టు హియర్ యువర్ వాయిస్, ప్లీజ్. సార్, ఐ డోంట్ నో మ్యూట్ అండ్ అన్మ్యూట్ సార్. సత్యనారాయణ గారు, ఓకే. శ్రవణ్ కుమార్ సార్, we are traveling in the same boat, sir. Shravan Kumar, can you unmute and read legal effect of divorce, which I posted on the screen? At least you say pass on. I'm happy that you know the mute and unmute. What is that? Krutagnata K. I'm thankful to the Krutagnata K. If you could unmute and read what I posted on the screen. Are you present? Okay, now another man. Meeting space 11 web. Please do it.
Legal effects of divorce. Mutual rights of inheritance cease. Cohabitation becomes illegal and children born after such intercourse will be illegitimate. Dower becomes immediately payable. Parties can contract another marriage. Wife is entitled to maintain during the iddat period.
See, I gave only the bullet points over here. But in another, I made a total 7 points over here. See, here, this is 1 point. That is the Mughal. Did you observe it? And this is the another point with the case law that I made it over there. With the cases, also I put it over there. And this is the 6th one, remarriage between the divorced couple. And here I have given the detailed dower. How the dower would be there, effect would be there after the legal effect after the divorce. Then the 4th point here, right to contact for another marriage. Here also I made it. Then 3rd point, maintenance during the iddat period.